welcome back to another video. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm outside right now. It's about 8:20 a.m. where I live. Very, very light showers, just like a little bit of a mist. No problem to be out here with my kid. It's warm. It's actually like in the 60s Fahrenheit, and it feels nice. Without giving away too much detail, I will tell you that I live in a suburb of a very, very liberal area. In fact, though we live thousands of miles away from the epicenter of the Minneapolis riots, it's all being used as an excuse to do the same type of crap here. So we had our own riots last night in multiple major cities where I live. There's quite a few cities. I live in a very popular liberal urban area, and people were killed last night. Stores were vandalized and looted, and just a couple miles from where I live, it's so funny how they go downtown. And thank God that they do, because I don't think the police have the situation handled. And we have not called the National Guard in yet, but let's see what happens. And even if the National Guard can handle it, I'm not sure that they can either. There are talks, I think the Pentagon, which is America's federal defense and military strategy office out of Washington, D.C., the Pentagon is talking about deploying the military, which is supposedly against our law, but this would be a situation of martial law. And, yeah, guys, I'm preparing for war. I have always known that the tensions between the races were at an incredibly high level. And with the lies of the mainstream media coupled with social media, we know that this was just the spark that lit the powder keg. This is clearly not about George Floyd, though they are making it out to be. This is now a protest, or I should say riots, happening by people who are completely unemployed and have nothing going for them, and most of them were losers to begin with. Now they're looking for any kind of excuse to start rioting, stealing, hurting people, all of it. And even in my neighborhood, I just pulled these cardboard signs down. I'll pull any of that virtually signaling crap down if I see it. I don't care if people see me doing it. I tore down 3 or 4 signs that were on top of each other attached to a light post. One said, "Support the protesters." These are not protesters. These are domestic terrorists. I don't care what the mainstream media wants to call them. They are terrorists. They are looters. And they're thieves. They're murderers. And they have only paved the road to go to hell for themselves. And I will not support them. The sign under it said, "Bail them out." As in, like, give your money to make sure they get out of jail so that they can continue this. So I tore down those signs immediately. And, nobody saw me, and I don't even care if they did. I'm happy to have a debate on the street with these liberal morons. I do not want this going into my neighborhood, but I have already insured months ago. We saw this coming. I've been seeing this coming for years. So I insured many, many months ago to have firearms and ammunition. I also recently purchased a machete, and I will actually put the link where I got it in the description below. I got it in the middle of the beginning of right in the beginning of the lockdown. They delivered a machete to my home in an incredibly liberal state. There seems to be no restrictions on blades that have a purpose for chopping down thick brush, though this thing looks like a weapon if I've ever seen it, and or ever seen one. It's most definitely crafted to look like more than just a brush cutter. I have also, just for the hell of it, guys, I bought a shield. And I just Googled it or Amazoned it, and I'm going to be getting a very thick carbon steel shield delivered to me. It is not practical. It's medieval. It has a big Templar cross on it. I will also link that here. I think the stock is really low. It's really made for decoration, to be totally honest, but I bought one, and I will be finding a strap so that I can put it on my back. That way when I walk my kid outside, he doesn't need to feel, well, he doesn't know anything, but I don't need to feel like we're not prepared. I've always carried a little Kershaw blade in my belt, but now I have my machete in his stroller. If somebody wants to fucking come over here, like, I'm going to slice them. And this isn't about me being a tough guy, internet tough guy, keyboard warrior. This is about protecting my son and my girlfriend. And if you saw the announcement that I made on Social Galactic yesterday, she needs more protection than ever. And I'm not messing around. We have plans to flee if we have to. Though, I don't know that I would stay with them at her sister's place, which is 20 or 30 miles away from here and in a much safer area. I don't think I would be staying with them. I think I would stay behind so that I could protect our property. But this could be nothing. It'll be very interesting to see what happens at the end of this, or if I should say, it'll be very interesting to see if these tensions die down. But to be honest, guys, this time I'm not so sure they will. There have been times like this before, right? Like every time the news propagates a story about a black man dying by the hands of a white police officer, we have a riot. But this time is probably the worst I've ever seen it. I think this is worse than the 1992 Rodney King riot, where the meme about rooftop Koreans. And also you've seen the horrifying pictures of the truck driver who was pulled out of his car, beaten to death by two men. I think this is a worse situation. It looks like we're getting reports in Minneapolis that people, and particularly women, are being kidnapped. So God only knows what they're doing to those women. I think one may have gotten away. The other is dead. This is a horrifying situation. And I will be taking no chances. I don't care that the law says I can't have a machete with me on the stroller. It's here. And I will not be taking chances. Right now it's 8 in the morning, and these thugs are likely sleeping from last night's terrorism. It's actually lightly sprinkling, but I don't think it's going to be a very rainy day. And therefore, I don't think they're going to be rained out. And I think we're going to see more of this tonight all over the country, including here, thousands of miles away from Minneapolis, because it's not so much about this George Floyd guy. It's about communists, antifa, and thugs who are all looking for an excuse to steal and pillage and loot. And I do not support it at all. And in fact, any of the goodwill that I had for the situation is gone. I happen to fully agree that George Floyd did not deserve to die. He definitely didn't deserve to be killed. He deserved to have his day in court, which is the way the law works in America. Even if you're a murderer, you're supposed to be arrested, subdued, put into custody, and tried in the court of law. George Floyd had a heart condition and looks like he was on drugs, and it's very possible with the medical reports that we're seeing that the knee to the neck didn't actually kill him. That being said, the cop used too much force, and I'm not opposed to him being arrested right now, but my goodwill for the black community is going out the window if this is how they want to act. If they want to destroy the cities that we built, let them destroy them, but do not come for the suburbs, or we will fight, and I will be pulling the trigger on many slugs. And if I have to come within melee range, I will. We don't fear death. Faith is the antidote to the fear of death. My faith is strong. My God will protect me until my time comes. That's it, guys. That is my thoughts. I don't know if this will be a addendum to today's video, or I'll probably drop it tomorrow morning. But if you're in America, prepare for war.
Hey, thank you so much for listening or watching the video today. I want to ask you, what kind of things do you want to hear about? You know what we really focus on in this channel? It's about men's education, right? The manly arts, finance, religion, and health and fitness. So if you got any questions around these topics or things that you think might be relatable or that I could bring any fact or opinion on, by all means, drop a comment below and feel free to email me at rightofpassage85@gmail.com. Thanks so much. Take care.